See what the question?
So, who is the enemy and where is the enemy?
Yeah.
When we feel like we're fighting someone or
Yeah.
something or an
Yeah.
organization.
Okay. So is the word enemy, what does it describe? The one you don't like?
The one that makes your going difficult, like stands in your way,
Yeah.
tries to
But
stop you.
it it starts from the mind. Uh, the whole world, it's very similar to like the ocean, and the waves are in harmony. When it is in harmony, then it will become musical. And when it becomes disrupted or out of balance, then what happen? It become like you don't like or enemy. So all that is within within us. Within us means within the harmony between the head and the heart, or like and dislike, because you see the when you clarify the attitude of two people, and the enemy become friends, and also friends turn into enemies. So the dual world is always up and down, down and up. But persona and the person always changing, changing, changing. If we observe around, uh, in the plants kingdom or animal kingdom, are there enemies? In the plant kingdom, less.
Mhm.
They harmonize more easily. In the animal kingdom, more like the children. Uh, if the hunger operating, then naturally it becomes the food and it moves on. So there is not violence except the hunger satisfaction. So the language word, the enemy opposite, but the Chinese master, the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu, they say winning the enemy without the fight. And that it says the water is stronger than the stone because it can go around the stone. So that means duality to no, to non-duality, from person to the presence, is the ego structure. Like, let's look at this way. Do you have enemies in the dream?
I mean, you do,
You
you
do.
create them
You create them,
just
yeah,
for the
yeah,
and just
and
for the time, the short while that you have the dream, it feels real,
yeah,
like a real enemy.
yes,
And when you wake up, it's not a problem anymore.
yes. So, like what it dissolves is understanding the awareness. So, how do you win the opposite or the opposite enemy, opposite attitude when you start understanding and listening each other angle and attitude? So, like now in the national fight, in the war, has turned into economical. Uh, Not only in China but in America also. Suppose you did some misbehavior or sexual misbehavior with the neighbor or with what they do is you'll have to pay for it. They will say you'll have to pay for it. That means economical gains, and then they settle down. They settle down. So is the nationalistic up and down, boiled down to you'll have to pay for it. And then you transfer the pay for the account and they dance around and move on. That's how traditional war, killing and bloodshedding and all those things are changing into you'll have to pay for it. That's the motto now. So, but something above, when you understand the dharma, the truth, then you understand you will have to pay for it without paying. What that means, the law of karma, in the form of suppose you are poor, you can't pay the money, you'll have to, it will it will come into your disease or accident because all consciousness is oneness. All consciousness is oneness. So the more and more you are awake, you will not cheat any body. Why? Because there is no body, there is no other, there is no other, there is no otherness. So in economical or supermarket, uh, you if people get a chance, they compete and compete, and they of course they it's a competitive world, and one thing is keeping the intact of the honesty. Another thing is mischiefs or cleverly. So whenever we cheat other one, we cheat ourselves first. That is the spiritual angle because there is no another. And the biology or the cellular mechanism is related with it because cellular mechanism, the body mind, are not separate. They are grounded into the light of the consciousness. Uh, so the heart consciousness, when pure and clear and honesty, which is the other word of dharma. Dharma means the truth itself. Truth itself is not something to believe. Is the other name of God. Godliness is not something to believe in the head. That is the enemy of yours if you have faith and belief, because then you have put it on the end of the rope. When I die, then it will happen. No, 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 no. It is here now, not as a person ego, but the presence of the here now, here now. You cannot step out of it. If you become person and fight, then you are a foolish fool, because you are wasting your life. You're wasting your life into struggling and fight, while at the same time you can enjoy and don't run by the button of the ego and the brain. Brain is so bad nowadays because it is running the machinery. Machinery means the whole body mind running around, thinking as a dream that I'm a big doer. I did so many things running around, but there is another way of living where there is no reactive mind and no worried mind of past and future, but like a baby of 5-year old, 10-year old, that pure mind, pure heart, and the mind is still there, but is not, has turned into sour, pickled. Pickle means that it has, because even the doctors will warn you the psychosomatic disease, they are all crazy mind, then blood pressure, hyperactive, hyper anxiety, blood pressure. So they want to quieten the mind, but then they need another programmer, another program. The biggest treasure of life, let's look at it. The hunger, the sound sleep. Is it in your control? You think you are the controller. Do you order the sleep, come at 9, come at 11? You cannot organize. It descends. It happens when it happens. You can organize the bed, bedroom, flowers, and you are in velvet bed, but the sound sleep is not there, sleep is not there. Take drugs, but still sound sleep. The same way is the hunger. So control is there, but illusory. It's illusory. So life of worry free, control free is more like a music. It's, it's floating. It's floating is different than swimming with the struggle. Floating is like winning the war without fighting. And that's what the scientists are proving, that maximum activity is in the state of vacuum. What that means, the life is wonderfully wonderful. Very simple things are the blessings, the proper hunger, the proper sound sleep. So what the greatest enlightened masters, they they remind people that eat when you are hungry, sleep when you are sleepy. Then all other people, oh, I know that, I do that, but actually not. Because when you are eating, your mind is running at 60, 80 miles an hour and 10 different things of the past and future. But when the enlightened master will eat like a baby, will like it without the mind, without the thinking. Ho, 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 ho. The same food, the same carrot, the same potato, the same vegetable will taste thousand kind of levels. It will taste different. Imagine when you are eating the food with the friends when you are 15, 16, not only the age, but when you are whole, you are together. Only eating food become a blessing. It become a joy. What is this life full of care, not a minute to look and stare. So the life has many, many levels, many levels, many qualities. It's not reaching to the paradise on the seventh floor, because that's what man's mind has invented. God up there, enlightenment up there. It's never there. It's here and now, here and now. Only listening to each other, listening to each other, listening the words and the silence between the words can be a miracle. But how a person can listen who is restless, who can't have eye contact, who cannot just observe oneself, just analyzing the speaker, what he is saying. Oh, who is he? Where is he? Hey, is pointing toward one's own monkey mind. And when you are serious and sincere, the answer is already there within the question. There is no more enemy, there is no more friend, but you are nothing but the wholeness. Because how you can create the otherness? The idea of friend and enemy, the duality is also fake. There is no one. It's all concepts. Concepts of a story within the story. But when you live like a child, then there is no other. There is the beloved, the oneness, wholeness, the blissful wholeness, oneness, here and now. There's nothing to achieve and run, run, run. Let go of the run. That's how we observe in the galaxy, the planetary system. You are the galaxy. You are the God wanting this, this, this. So, retrograde word is another word which is the enlightening word, means the same thing changes many, many, many levels and conscious. Like you cannot step in the same river again. What that means? That means the same river has changed, is never the same. Many, many levels. You cannot step the same river again. The same way, no more enemy. It's changing each moment, each second. When you change your attitude, other changes. This is the science of how to change others without changing. When you transcend this egoistic thoughts and nothing but the love without the barriers, then other change. Because there is no other, it's only a concept. So all answers are answered within this divine space, transcendental space, which you already are, but you living at the bubble of the ego. Oh, I understand. There is nothing to understand. So don't make it another belief, because life is not something to figure out or belief system. Either you live it or you miss it. It's so, you can say, fragile or changing without the changes. Both are there at the same time. Like the river. You cannot step the same river again. What that means? Means it's renewing without the renewing. Both at the same time. Eternal, eternity, the God has come in the form of the plants, animals, and you. But if you are stuck, if you're glued into the dreamy dreams, then life pass. But the scientist of the objects, that is the material scientist, then there is super scientist. Super scientist, not knowing the objects, but knowing the very knower, knowing the knower. Ho, 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 ho. When knowing the knower, all fight, all wars, all enemies gone, because there is no object and subject. There is Om, changing without the changing. That's the quantum physics. No thingness. All things are coming from no thingness. No thingness. And then you feel you have arrived home. Then simple, ordinary thing become extraordinary. And extraordinary become ordinary. Ah, ha, ha, ha. The blade of grass grows by itself. What a miracle. And that's the miracle for a little baby. He will not run after wanting, wanting. It's all the illusion of the time which you are caught up in, the bubble of time. And time is such a illusion. When you are in love, your 10 hours and 10 years fly by like a butterfly. And when the same love get pickled, your memories, what you think is the love is not the love. They have to change. So then what happened? Then you know better. So, dear beloved, is only here now, not into things, but no thingness, include things, uh, and still no thingness. That's why when you try to understand with the words and languages, you befooling yourself. Therefore, you cannot understand what I am saying is nothing but not a word, but the silence speaking. Om Shanti.